Hello everyone, this is Caroline and today's webcast is taking place on November 20th, 2011. I hope everyone is doing fine. What are we doing today? Just a quick rundown of what is happening. I think we all kind of know what has been coming down. I can see a lot of you have been following this information, and for those who are new, again, we've been talking about a lot of movement. I'm also going to, at the end of this webcast, not at the end, in the middle actually, we're going to switch and do a very powerful connection and healing circle 15 today. Which is a very nice exercise to quiet the mind and expand your consciousness. So we will get to that in just a minute. But before we do, like I said, a quick rundown on what is happening. For those who joined me last time, in the last webcast, I talked about a particular date, November 3rd and 4th, which is obviously past now. And this was the date of the completion of the grid system, meaning the time where the new grid system on the Earth locks into position, into a new positioning. And again, we talked about the importance of this event because the grid system is the replica of the human brain. That is what allows you to have a human experience or a 3D experience. So changing the grid system will change the configuration of your human brain. And so we have been working on bringing forth a very high frequency, very complex new configuration for the grid system, and we have been working with these different energies for quite some time now. In fact, for a couple of thousand years. And a couple of weeks ago has been the final chapter of this very important work, the arrival and locking in of this grid system. This means, in practical terms, that you will begin to have more drastic experiences, in a good way, of course. So if the grid system is a replica of your human brain, then now you have access to new higher frequencies in a different way. Your human brain is going to recognize the new paradigm. I'm going to call it the new paradigm, meaning everything that is configured according to universal design. Again, without getting into the technical details here, but the universal design is based on the intelligence, the creation formula for the entire universe, including this planet. And so this means that this new grid system will allow you to have a multidimensional experience, that allows you to remain always aligned and in perfect coherence with the universe, with the intelligence of the universe, the mechanics of the universe, and of course, in addition to having very powerful, fast manifestation, you will also increase your abilities to tap into very high frequency information, meaning universal information that will come through to you in an organic manner, unfiltered. Do you realize the importance of such a thing? That you can retrieve. You have always been able to retrieve, but it has been very difficult. But as of now, this retrieval process of universal information, meaning how the universe is made, how it functions, how the creation process works, all of this information will come to you in an organic manner, in a very easy way. So you're going to say, "Oh, this sounds really cool. But how is that going to help me pay my bills tomorrow?" You see, the thing is, we are not used to looking at the very big picture and apply that information to our daily life. We think that on the one hand, having these amazing experiences is one thing, maybe for the weekend. And then during the week, we have to go back to a normal way of looking at reality and having a job and paying bills and so on and so forth. And I have to tell you, this is actually a very old paradigm thinking, because what this implies is that you are separating your consciousness. You're saying a part of me is going to be universal and retrieve universal information to expand my consciousness, and then another aspect of me is going to go out and pay the bills. And so it doesn't really work this way. This is a system based on separation, based on smallness, based on control. Because you see, if you understand that you are made of the universal fabric, meaning your DNA is universal, it is exactly the same as the universe, then you have the ability to create even the smallest thing in using the functionality, using the intelligence of the entire universe, you see. If you begin to realize this, you will see that it is with the universal DNA that is part of your human consciousness also, that is combined with your human consciousness and your human experience, that will allow you to function and manifest things at this very, very high level. So again, it's very difficult to cram everything into 10 minutes here to explain how all of this works. But it really, it's actually quite specific. It's very scientific, not old paradigm science. I'm talking about universal science, universal mathematics. And so if you take a little time to, like I said, go into some of these exercises, some of this work that I've been sharing with you, you will really understand the benefits of this information. You have to begin to think universal. You have to begin to think that your daily reality has to be created from a completely new level. And like I said, going back to where I started, the arrival, the locking in of this new grid system on the earth is going to allow you to do that, you see, to bring in very high frequency new formulas to create your daily reality, among other things, of course. So, in the meantime, though, you still have a daily experience, you still have a human reality that continues to evolve. Part of this shifting, part of you is switching from the old way of creating to this new way of creating, will come with a little bit of transition time. For those who are just landing on this information, those who are just finding this information just now, I see many, many new names, in fact, may need a little bit of catching up to do. Like I said, I recommend that you go back to some of this information. It's available online on my website. And for those who have been doing this work for quite some time, will find this time much easier to handle. This is not to say that some will struggle and others will not. Everybody will have a little bit of adjustment to do. And so I'm here to share with you these tools so that this adjustment period continues to be smoother, easier to handle. So among other things, the one thing that will allow you to continue to handle these changes is the ability for you to discern, you see. If you can discern the root cause of what is going on, then you will not be stuck in the struggle. For example, if you can discern why you have headaches right now, why, if some of you have pressure in your head, if some of you are feeling dizzy, if you're having very strange kind of headaches and things like that, if you were functioning in the old paradigm, you would say, oh, something's wrong with me, what's going on, and maybe I need to rest, maybe something's wrong in my head, or what have you. This is old paradigm thinking. But the ability to discern, if you are able to discern that right now you are experiencing these headaches, this pressure in the head because of the global shifting in the grid system, because your human brain is kind of retrieving information and finding a very, very high electrical current, adapting to new type of electricity. And this adapting, this transition is creating the headaches. If you could discern that, then you would look at the headache, you would approach the problem in a different way. So all this to say that I hope that the information that I'm sharing with you will allow you to continue to have clarity on what is going on. Very, very important time to shift to this higher frequencies that are available now. So in other words, it's not the time to kind of dwell on things. It's no longer the time to shop around. It's no longer the time to say, is it here? Is it ascension? Or what is ascension? All that stuff. It is happening. You have already ascended, actually. You don't feel it. It hasn't caught up with you, with your human brain, because we're not trained this way. Nobody teaches us these things as children, see? And so what is happening is that what I want to say is that this is the time for you to simply admit, acknowledge, and begin to perceive that this new paradigm is actually here. It is here if you choose it, and if you begin to allow it to be part of your new creative formula. You see, if you keep saying, but wait a minute, look on television, people are still killing each other and there's still all these problems, then you are not looking at what else is there. You are looking at chapter 1 and chapter 2, and you are dismissing the rest of the story. So what I'm here to say is that the rest of the story is stronger than ever, is more present than ever before. The information is here, the frequencies are here, your physical brains are have been configured to the new frequency. So you have to begin to acknowledge that and begin to function with this new system now, okay? I'm going to leave 5 minutes for a couple of questions here and there. If you have a question, type it in very, very quickly. Or if you have a mic, you can raise your hand and I'll open the line. You can ask a question. Otherwise, we will move to the healing circle. So I'll just allow you, like I said, a moment here to see if you have any important question that's relevant to this topic, obviously. All right, somebody's asking, besides headaches, are fevers part of this new transition? A lot of my clients have an unexplained low-grade fever. Yes, you see, it's not just the fever. It's also, women will think it's hot flashes or whatever you call these things. But I think men may be experiencing things like that as well. But of course, you don't recognize that. This has nothing to do with hot flashes. There's nothing to do with actual fever. This is the new voltage. This is exactly what we've been talking about. It's like the new voltage that's being pumped up into your physical brain. It's quite uncomfortable. It's a little strange. But like I said, that is what is happening. And make sure this is a very important time to rest and to also drink a lot of water. Because what's happening, again, it's as if I've just turned up the voltage inside your brain. It's like your physical cells in your brain are vibrating at a very high frequency. It's like an engine that's running very, very high, and you want to cool it down. So you do that by drinking a lot of water, and it will ease the fever and the pain. All right. if you could guide on the financial system situation, that would help. Okay, I want to tell you that the financial situation, as long as people continue to try to resolve it in the old way, it is simply not going to work. In fact, last time, the last webcast or a couple of webcasts ago, I'm not sure, I said there's going to be another hit around November or in the fall. And of course, we're experiencing more of that. I said there will be cities, states, counties filing for bankruptcy. It is happening. It is going to continue to happen because this is an old system. Folks, this is an old system. If you continue to try to function in the old system and resolve the problem with the old system using the old system tools, meaning pumping more money or reducing this or cutting the taxes here and there, it is not going to work. It is simply not going to work. What is going to work is a brand new system that is based on real asset. It's not a system that's a fiat system, a financial system. It is a completely different vibration of energy, of money. You see? And so if you are asking me, should I invest? Should I take my money out? This is an old paradigm game that is ultimately collapsing. How could you not see over and over and over the politicians coming out and saying we have trouble here, we have trouble there, and it is simply broken. It broken. The system is broken. So the financial system that will work is a brand new financial system that is based on universal understanding, a universal blueprint that is based on love, truth, beauty, goodness. Sounds very unrealistic, sounds completely out there, but I want to tell you, until someone comes out and starts speaking this language, making money, the energy of finances based on a universal consciousness, the old system is going to continue to be broken and to be and not be useful at all. So, what is my prediction? If that's what you're asking, I just said it. The old paradigm will continue to dissolve, and the new paradigm. And in fact, like I said earlier, I'm trying to say that the people who could tap into the new frequency should be focusing on a new financial system ideas, on new ways of becoming, of being in this 3D reality using completely new information, completely new understanding, and start from scratch. Forget the old. It is broken. It is unfixable. All right? Can you speak about 11-11-11? Yes, there's nothing to say about that. There was absolutely nothing. I think this is your belief system that looked at the numbers and thought were very cool vibrations, and something must be happening. Don't forget, this is a human-made calendar. And so having said that, if you project your own wishes, you would be creating an experience because you truly believe that something is going to happen. So, but from a universal point of view, there's always something happening. But 11-11-11 was not of any particular significance, the way I look at it. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Hot flashes, yeah. It's not that they'll, gradually all of this, the headaches, the inflammation. Let me see. If I take painkillers for my headache, if not, it gets worse. Is that okay? I recommend, rather than going to the painkillers, because it is quite uncomfortable, try to do a connection. At the time that you have these headaches or the pressure in your head, I recommend that you just try to look at it from a different perspective. Stop what you're doing, go sit in a comfortable place, drink a lot of water, and say, today I'm choosing to resolve this in a new way. Dare and to push yourself, to allow yourself to experience something new. And do the connecting to source exactly at the time where you have a headache, and then see if you cannot resolve it that way. All right. Can you elaborate what you mean by acknowledge and function with the new reality? Yes. You have to begin to say that these frequencies are real. This information is here. And the more you say that, the more you will find this frequency in your energy field and in your physical brain, you see. So the first step is for you to acknowledge, just to say, instead of saying, oh, the new reality is starting after 2012 or December 21st at 12 o'clock or Eastern time or whatever, something. What I'm saying is forget all this. What I'm saying is you should be today saying the information is here, the frequency is here, it is inside my body, it's inside my brain, it is on the earth, it is all around me. The more you say that, the more you will find evidence of it, and you will begin to retrieve that frequency, which will allow you to create much, much, much faster. Okay? And again, I highly recommend that you look into the series that I just started, Mastering the Creative Formula. You will realize the importance of matching your consciousness to that of the universe. Understanding that, yes, you look human, you are in a human body, but you are now functioning, believe me, since November 3rd and 4th. You have started to function with a new set of tools, with a new brain, you see. And so if you begin by saying that, I have a new brain, you will start to see the evidence of that. And with that will come faster manifestation, a lot more consciousness expansion, and a lot more spiritual experiences.